Hey everybody, welcome back this week to our last week's Dark Avenger Comic Book review. And we are in Wolverine and the X-Men issue 22. Not really particularly enjoying... I'm not particularly enjoying the whole Frankenstein murder circus thing. However, there are revelations in this book. The X-Men finally start snapping out of their spell that they're under. One part did interest me though. When Genesis fell through into a mirror house, they have him looking just like Superman.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Really?
It's like Superman.
Yeah.
What did you say? Which part?
Right there.
Oh my god,
Because-
that's what I see though.
Because if you remember, Phantom X had him raised in a virtual reality world by two farmers. And now he's dreaming about looking just like Superman, which is interesting.
Did they say that?
Huh?
Did they say that in the book?
No, it's just a dream of his, apparently.
He's saying his opinion. That he,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. But that's how Storm starts to question things, because she sees all of herself. I like the artwork in this book, I will say that.
Oh, I didn't say the artwork.
What's her name is?
Plus X.
It's okay.
Well, the artwork was good. Yeah.
Heidi teams up with, I forgot his name, he's part of the Hellfire Club, Benjamin. And it turns out he's related to Frankenstein. We found that out in the last issue. And him and Heidi, has conflict. You can see inside he has like an internal conflict. Like, he wants, you could see that he wants to be nice, but then he snaps himself out of it. And he actually says, keep it together, Maximilian. Oh, he's Max. I'm sorry. I called him Benjamin. His name is Max. And he's like, you're the Black Bishop of the Hellfire Club. Act like it. Get rid of her. So basically, I think he's being influenced by Kate Kilgore, not by...
I was kind of... Yeah.
So, all throughout the book, the X-Men slowly snap out of their trance. And Heidi had saved Max at the beginning of the issue, but then Frankenstein shows up again and attacks Heidi. And Max is the one that's hiding like a coward behind a rock while Frankenstein is about to kill Heidi. To be concluded. Thank you, God, to be concluded. I just want this to be over with, to be quite honest. So I'm going to say this is a 3 out of 5 stars. I take 2 stars away. 1, because I'm not really a fan of this story arc, and the other one because I don't know, halfway through the book it was like, finally, you kind of get that feeling.
Also,
finally
the
this is
story was
almost
kind
over.
of, a little...
Well,
But
Frankenstein.
that was the point. That was the point of why
really
I took
just
the
the
song
story
away.
itself by looking
And
at
the
it.
Superman ripoff.
No,
you
Superman
stop with the
Really?
Superman. What is it with you?
But he said it, didn't he?
But
He did.
Yeah.
Cable.
I was only joking.
Now, not
Okay.
even a week after issue 1, Cable and X-Force issue 2.
Oh, this one.
Okay, to be honest, and I heard a lot of good things about Avengers Arena and FF. I'm being honest with you guys. Right now, I'm probably going to trade paperback both of those series because there is no way I could afford to get every single one of these books. And those are the only 2 I've dropped so far. If I drop another book, we'll see if I pick them up again.
Because I didn't really like it.
Yeah, but a lot of people were saying it's a really good book and we should give it another shot, but we just can't. Too much money. So we start off in the present again, where if you guys saw the preview, Colossus is pissed off. He's like, you lied. Those were good men in there, good, honest, hardworking men. Those were friends, and we killed them. And then Cable's like, we did what we had to. And then he sticks that device onto Colossus, and he turns normal, like he's not in his metal form anymore. And then it goes back to the past, where the last issue left off. And Domino is sent to stop what's going on, what happened, what Cable had a fever dream about. He basically has dreams that are like premonitions. And also, oh god, why am I forgetting his name? Dr. Nemesis wants her to take a sample. Just as she's ready to leave, Hope decides that she's going to go with her, which Domino basically has no choice. While that's going on, Mr. Cable's under the knife. And we'll get to Cable's situation in a moment. But Hope is there saving all the people from whatever this black goop is, and Domino's trying to find a place where she can put the bomb or whatever it is. She does it. They save. The news sees Hope Summers. I know there's going to be some ramifications to that in future issues. Hope saves the day. Somebody in the shadows is trying to get Cable's attention. We then go into a couple of days later where Cable wakes up from his surgery, and Domino basically lays everything down for us, which is very convenient. Basically, and I quote, his brain is growing out of his skull. So he says there's something really big, there's really bad news coming down the pike, and I think I could get out in front of it and save the world one more time before he dies. Cable's infinitely dying. Every story he's in, he's gonna die, but before he dies, he's gonna do one more thing to save the world. If he does one more thing to save the world a million more times, he's never gonna die.
Exactly.
He's immortal. Just
well, with that chemical on too. Actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just at that point where it's like, yeah, it's just not. There's nothing left to be said.
Me for a second, I'll be
Sure.
right back.
And then he goes to meet Colossus. And it turns out Colossus is no longer in control of his ability to change between normal and metal. Normal and the metal skin.
So it does it whatever it feels like it?
Yeah, but Cable has a suit that'll help Peter control.
Now this is the regular Colossus we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, finally. Because that whole Juggernaut thing was...
Oh, yeah, no, he got rid of that. They got rid of that.
Good. So they know about it.
So he wants to
They know
enlist.
it was not going nowhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. He wants to enlist Juggernaut. See what you did?
I'm sorry.
Colossus into X-Force. So apparently everybody who was part of the Phoenix 5 has wonky X powers now. Has wonky mutant powers
That
now.
sounds familiar.
So
The
what?
Phoenix 5. Was that an event?
AVX.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody except Magic so far has been affected by the Phoenix
Sorry about
Force.
that.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 4 out of 5 stars. I would definitely say to check this issue out. Hoping that it does better, and I hope at
I
some
like that
point.
Hope Summers is in it.
Yeah, I hope at some point that we're able to get past the whole Cable's dying thing.
Yeah.
I'll give Mike this book because now I'm being called. So give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright, so this is X-Men Legacy, issue number 3 from Marvel Now. This issue was pretty good, especially the ending, which I in-depthly reviewed on Dark Avenger Inc. By the way, hopefully you guys are checking out that site and subscribing as well. So we start off where Legion encounters with this bird right here. And we don't know what the bird is because this is what happened before time, in that sense. Artwork is pretty good, I will have to say that. They get called into Legion actually gets kidnapped in a clan, and I couldn't really understand it because they were using these Chinese, Japanese words, so to say. But what I got from it was that the leader of the clan is teaching 2 kids to kill, which they don't want to do, and because Legion's a mutant, and the leader of the clan is teaching them to kill mutants based on Shinobi Ayabin, who was leader of the criminal enterprise that did all that. So the story still continues where we see the bird from what we saw from before, who killed innocent man, and the kids didn't like that happen. And then there's a scene where the X-Men make an appearance, and they found out where Legion is with the glowing red eyes, and Wolverine says we got a lead of where he is.
Is that a fat man or a fat
That's a sumo
woman?
wrestler.
Yeah, I like how in the issue how it talked about how Legion his story when he defeats a mutant, he gains their powers. Kind of like Highlander, you know, when he defeats someone, he takes the powers.
Oh God, they're not
it
going the Highlander route.
Well, it ended up with him failing, as you can see from the 2 panels here, all the time. And Xavier was in this as well. And he's telling the kids of how Xavier was a good man, taking in mutants and...
Isn't he like a jerk now?
all the other stuff. Well, he's dead now, you know, and Legion knows that he's dead from the first issue on. So Legion is with the 2 kids, and this is where it's making me pick up the next issue. The ending, where the Wolverine team, or the X-Men team, find Legion, and it's to be continued. This comic book, the ending really was amazing. This is the preview for the next issue. I'd say it was great. I would give this a, I would say between a 4 and 4.5, because we learned a little bit more about Legion, and with the X-Men team finding Legion, and with that skeleton dude, whatever his name was, that talked about the X-Men team in the last issue of that. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to seeing how the next issue is going to be with that encounterment between Legion and the X-Men. That's it.
Captain America #2. I'm really enjoying Captain America. I know a lot of people are actually getting tired of it already. They're not liking the artwork. They're not liking the story. I'd like to say, after reading Captain America, you get to see a different side of Cap. It's 1 year later. You open the book and the very first page says 1 year later. And Cap is taking care of the baby that he saved, which he called, I forgot, Ian. And he's taking care of Ian. We have a flashback. He has a flashback to when he was a child. And he was doing a paper route. He got beaten up. And you can slide in if you need to. And how it was during the day of his father's funeral. I believe it was the father's funeral, because everybody's dressed in black. And I believe it's his grandfather or uncle that says he was a good man, but he lost hope. And a man who loses that loses everything. And that's where it goes back to Cap and Ian just surviving. And they get attacked. Cap protects Ian and tries to protect, you know, he protects himself and he tries to protect Ian from what's going on. They unfortunately get captured, and then the ending, I'm not really going to spoil too much, but things don't look good, not just for Cap, but for Ian himself, to be continued. Looks really good. I'm just still not really too happy that this is going to be a 12-issue first story arc. It kind of makes me worried, because if this story arc doesn't do good, they could just cancel the series after the 12th issue.
I don't know. I just thought Captain America teaming up with the kid was going to be a little, you know...
Not teaming up with him, he's just taking care of him.
Well, taking care of her. I thought maybe...
Yeah, it's a baby.
Oh, him. Yeah, I thought that would be some of the flaw. Well, from reviewers, but it looks pretty good, though. I mean...
I don't know how I feel about this being a 12-issue story, but I do know what I feel about this issue, and it was really good. A new side of Cap. The only negative thing, and I agree with Blue Goblin on this. If you don't check if you don't know who he is, you should check out his reviews. They don't show you what's happening in the real world. So for all we know, no time is passing in the real world, or time is passing, but we don't know what's going on with Carol or anybody. Everything. All we know is what's going on with Cap. And I'm actually curious myself to see if Cap's been gone for a while, what they're doing on Earth right now.
That would make sense.
To bring him back. Just my opinion.
No, no, I'm just saying.
4 out of 5 stars. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I take the half star away because of that. This book, I don't know why, but I dread it every time I see it. The Thor, God of Thunder, issue 3. And it's not because of the story. It's not because of the story. Story's really good. I dread it for one reason. The story reads out and describes everything.
Wow.
Every page has 1,000,001 word boxes. or
Oh wow.
I mean, everywhere you go. I mean, you want to read what the people are interacting and saying with each other, of course.
Looks like.
But I mean, literally, every page has word dialogue, and then you get the pages where Thor doesn't talk at all. However, he has a million thought bubbles or thought squares. And you know what?
Never heard of it.
Throughout this entire book, first of all, you still don't really see too much about future Thor. You just see the possible end of future Thor, and Iron Man guest stars with Thor for a bit. In the present, Thor is going back to the cave where he fought the God Butcherer, but they're also showing clips of the past where Thor fought the God Butcherer. While in the present, Thor is, I forget where exactly he is. He's at the
Yeah, that's gone.
no, the library. I forgot where.
Omnipotent
City.
Oh.
Nexus.
Yeah.
of
Basically a
Light.
huge
Yeah.
library. And he asks for the section with the missing gods. And he finds a ton of books. And he's like, all these gods probably were destroyed or killed by the God Butcherer. And then he goes flying around and he finds all the gods dead. But another one of the God Butcherer's berserkers there waiting. So every time he finds a dead god, he finds another berserker and he kills them. The last one, Thor gets really pissed off and says no more. And he's like, come out and fight. Come kill Thor if you dare. And he doesn't get an answer, and he's still doing research. We jump back to the past, where it's Thor going to the cave. Then we jump back to the present, where it's Thor and Iron Man, and Thor finally comes clean, but we still don't know what happened in the past with Thor and the God Butcherer. All we know is he gets attacked by the God Butcherer in the past, and that's where this book leaves off. So, long story short, all the fighting, all the word bubbles, all everything. The big revelation in this book is it's all Thor's fault. All the gods are dying because of something Thor did to the God Butcherer.
But I don't understand.
That's the long and short of it.
Well, I don't know why they keep blaming Thor. I mean, isn't there another explanation?
There probably is, but
I mean, he's the god of thunder. Right?
when he goes in the present to the cave, he meets somebody who knows of the God Butcherer, and the guy and the I'll say God. The god says that it's Thor's fault. The God Butcherer is killing other gods to this day.
That's ridiculous. Because Thor is,
4 out of 5 stars, just because I swear every time I see the Mighty Thor, I see the Mighty Thor, Thor God of Thunder, especially with a pile of comics this big. When I saw this, I dreaded the fact that I knew it was in the pile because I knew it was going to be at least a half-hour sit down and read, because there's so much dialogue
and Thor bubbles.
and thought. It's just so
And
much.
squares.
Whatever.
Bubbles.
It all leads into the same thing though. It's Thor's fault, and that's it.
So they should.
Need I
just
say
instead
anymore?
of playing simple.
Why?
Well, then there wouldn't be too much.
But I still like Thor. I'm just looking forward to getting past the God Butcher at this point. Venom, issue 28. Venom no longer is living in New York. And you read this.
Yeah, I
Kevin
did.
reads Venom also.
Yeah,
People-
I'm still waiting on 29.
People
Oh,
start
30, I mean 30. I
29.
thought 29 is coming out. Okay. That confused me.
People are going missing in the beginning of the book, and then we jump back to New York City, where actually Flash is still in New York City at the beginning of the book, and he's training with Valkyrie. You get a little fight, a little smoochy at the end, and then he gets a call from, please,
What was her
Katie.
name?
Katie.
Katie.
It
Oh,
said it on
Katie.
I thought it was like Elise or Elizabeth.
Katie.
But Katie, alright.
And
now
Katie
take care
has
of
a
that.
lead on these guys, and they're called the UFOs. Apparently,
Oh,
we've
I've been
seen
calling them
before.
the U-Men.
No, they're the UFOs.
I was close enough.
And she gets captured. Enter Venom to save the day. So now Venom is looking for leads, looking for, what exactly was going on. He goes to where I believe she was staying, where there's all these news articles and evidence, and then the
Wow, nice
UFOs
Attack.
attack. And then it's Venom versus the UFOs, except Venom doesn't exactly fare well at the end of this fight. And things don't look good for Flash Thompson. And then at the very end, things don't look that good for Katie either, to be continued.
Wow.
I'll say this book definitely picked up. There's no
Yep,
demons.
it did.
There's no demons. There's no hell. There's no this, that, or the other thing. And there's no Ghost Rider female.
Well,
Thank God,
that's another good thing.
I
because
heard that
one
Ghost
was
Rider
just-
came back, the real one. You know, Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. Thank you, God.
So hopefully he gets his own comic book too.
So I enjoyed
Once
this.
again.
I enjoyed this book. I don't know. What did you think about it?
I thought it was pretty good. I really thought it picked up a lot. Great artwork, great story.
I love this page. This page.
It's just a shame that after Minimum Carnage, he has to go through all that again, like trouble,
Well,
saving
he
the day.
has to
and
go.
whatnot.
Well, you know, Venom, you know, has so many other duties to do as well. You know,
Exactly,
He's
yeah.
just-
But let me just say
Everyone
this: the
does.
position Katie's in, it turns out that the UFOs have been experimenting on people, and Katie's the next.
And she knew about it. That's why she was spying.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But now she's going to be the next test dummy.
The next cover looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next issue. I pre-ordered it already, so I'm waiting on that.
I can't wait. This
This
next
looks
issue is
good.
going to be
I'll
good.
definitely pick it up.
So I would say 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I would say so too. But I'm gonna review my own opinion about it. I'll be saying whenever I
Yeah.
get around to it. I don't
Yeah.
know when I'll do it though. I want to get all the issues out of the way first
Mm-hmm.
before I do that.
So this was definitely a 4.5 out of 5. Next is
All right.
Michael.
Yep.
Oh, this is another one I read.
Yes. That's Thunderbolts issue number 2. This issue was pretty okay. I mean, it's not like the first issue. Like, well, first of all, let me explain. You know, I in-depthly reviewed it. It's where Ross encounters with a guy, Kata Jaya. This man right
Let me
here.
see.
The guy who lost his family.
Yeah, the
He's
one who
only
lost his
survived.
family, yeah. And then he gets thrown out of the bar and he doesn't have a good life at all. So then we get into New York City where I believe it was a leader of a
Corporation.
The
Yeah,
corporation.
he's a jerk.
and they're talking about Manipur, of how he was involved in a conspiracy, and then the guy on the other end saying that he wasn't. They talk about gamma-powered weapons, which they're banned from using. And there was just a lot of dialogue about that, and we get into this one where the Red Hulk was in it. And in this issue, I did not know that Ross was the Red Hulk, to be honest. I really did not
I didn't
know
think
that.
Red Hulk was an old man.
Well, an old man,
I
too.
felt like a mid-aged man.
Thunderbolt Ross has been. They revealed it. I had the comic. I did the review.
I didn't know. I forgot. But then I remembered Thunderbolt Ross and then there. So that's how I remembered.
Okay.
So he's making a deal about like weapons of like mass destructions and all that other stuff, and basically like there's just like a plan that he has in mind. There is another scene where the Punisher and Venom.
With the Red Skull, and show that picture.
Yeah,
again.
this
Yeah.
picture is epic. Venom in the
Yes.
red and black. Venom looks
Not too
really
bad.
good in red and black.
Not too bad.
And they take out the mercenaries, and then Venom says there's gamma power projectile weapons. They're banned worldwide. Like, how did they get it? And then Deadpool and Punisher have a little one-on-one talk with each
I love
other.
how Venom's changing his costume from. Show this panel where he's changing
Oh,
his costume
yeah.
from white
Yeah.
to red.
From white to red.
And where Deadpool calls him brown noser.
Yeah, and so Hulk sends Elektra and Deadpool on a mission, and they get seen by the soldiers, and the
Oh, this is my favorite
soldiers like
one.
saying like, "Oh hey, we're huge fans."
Just
can we
show
have an
it. Just
autograph?"
show it and see what he means.
He gets a
This is all in Deadpool's mind right now.
just shot to the head. And then Venom's like saying we shouldn't do this no more because of failure, and Hulk says, you know, I'm doing this for your protection. But this is what got me in the end, where Ross says, I've taken necessary steps to accelerate things.
And then we get this guy.
Yeah, and I think that's Kata J.
The Red Hulk leader, or the Red
Or the
leader.
Red Hulk. Starring Samuel, it says right there. To be continued.
A.K.
Yeah, I would say, I would give this really a 3.5 out of 5. I
Really?
mean, the story, the story...
3.5 out of 5 stars. You mean?
Yeah, 3.5.
I heard.
Like, the story was pretty good, but, I mean, I'm gonna get the next issue to see what happens with the Thunderbolts team, The artwork was good, and I would say pick it up. What do you think?
I personally give it 4 out of 5, to be honest with you, because I really love the
Looks like
story.
a 4 out of 5.
And I really love it. Me too.
I'll give it like 3.5 to 4. I'll be nice. A 3.5 to 4.
No, you
I
picked
love
3.5.
the team up, the Thunderbolts team up. The concept is great. The story's been going good so far.
It's just
Can't
the
wait for
story
the
was
next
just
issue.
a little, but it was good in a way, because I want to see what happens
I'm giving too much of my info on it already.
Well,
What
there's
I'm trying
3
to
minutes
say.
left, so let me get into this book. It's the final issue of Uncanny X-Force, issue 35, the last Rick Remender Uncanny X-Force. And this is the variant grand finale cover. Both covers were really good for X-Force. I just wanted the variant one. So, the beginning of the book has Wolverine at Dawkins' grave, and he's saying, I wish I would have known, I would have saved you, I would have been fine, and you would have made the difference it would have made to the life of one innocent boy, it would have been if you lived. And then we have Elizabeth back at, I forgot where this was called, the Other World, and she apologizes to her. She doesn't really apologize to her brother, but she's like, do you forgive me? He's like, I love you, of course. She's like, then you're going to remember that because you're going to regret what I asked next. Do you mind if I store the Shadow King and some Apocalypse armor here? And obviously they say yes. There's a really warm moment here between Genesis and, what do you call it, Deadpool.
What do you call it?
Deadpool.
We just talked about him, no?
I wanted to remember his real name.
Wade Wilson.
Not his
okay.
name, you dope.
But you just said Deadpool. So.
I think it's Evan.
That's why I assumed-
Evan, thank you, Evan. And he takes the meditation book that Wolverine leaves for him, and he leaves him Playboy instead. Then we go back to Betsy, who's going to her apartment where she meets up with Wolverine, and I keep forgetting this woman's name because I feel like she's so
Elizabeth?
important. No, the woman from Venom X's ship. So he has something he wants to. There's one more thing they have to do, and we find out what Wolverine from the future said. The whisper thing they told Wolverine was, I couldn't kill the boy, I let Dawkins live. He'll kill the students if you let him live. You understand what I'm telling you. And he's like saying you have to kill him. I'll make you bet that was a mistake. So, they show up, Deadpool's already there, and he set the process in motion.
This guy.
And guess what? Phantom X is alive again. Why? Because he was cloned. Just like what he did with Evan.
Exactly.
So Phantom X is alive. But here's the thing. In the beginning of the book, they said Phantom X had 3 brains. So what about the other 2? Here they are.
Oh.
Dark Phantom X and female Phantom X. And the bell's about to toll. Come back. And we'll finish this book. And we'll hopefully finish the rest of
Oh wow,
these
19
books.
seconds left.
There's a lot of books left still. This was a heavy week, guys. So sit tight. And hopefully we'll get through these as fast as possible. See you guys in the next part.